Good evening all, how are you? Welcome to tonight where we're going to talk about the second component of the well-being model. So in this model we spoke last night about positive emotions being the first component, and positive emotions serve a purpose. That purpose helping us, they are generated in the present moment, but they also help us to get over negative emotions, which is a great thing, and they serve a purpose to build our resources so that we have a reserve that we can put to use in times of need. So the second component is around being in the zone. So we often think of sports people as being in the zone. So when they're totally focused, they're doing something that really engages them and challenges them, but they're so focused on what they're doing. And it's different to being focused and watching a movie or something like that. In order to be in the zone, you need to be physically engaged in it, doing something that takes effort. Watching a movie is a passive activity and it doesn't really get you in the flow. Yes, you're absorbed, but you're not an active participant in the process. So with being in the zone, when we think of sports people, they're totally in it. This evening or this afternoon I went to a concert and saw an Australian singer from some decades ago who was singing some In Excess and music from their own original band, Noiseworks. And live musicians are, you could say, are very much in the flow, especially when they're very experienced musicians. So in order to be in the zone, so full engagement or in flow, we need to have a match-up of our abilities and also the demands of the task. So if the demands of the task exceed our ability, then we might get stressed or overwhelmed. When our abilities exceed the demands of the task, we might get bored. So in terms of being able to find that sweet spot, we need to have our abilities challenged in a way by the demands of the task. So we can actually be in flow whether we're a reasonably beginner at whatever it is we're doing, as well as someone who's experienced. So, which is a great thing because that means we're all capable of being able to get into the zone. And it also helps that whatever it is that you're doing, it's something that you actually enjoy doing, perhaps even love. And it helps if you're good at it. But as I mentioned, you can get into the zone regardless of the your own ability, so long as the demands of the tasks that you're doing are in line with where your abilities are. It's also helpful when we are wanting to get into the zone, is that we're using those things that are our strengths, so things that either come naturally to us or that we've developed a degree of competence for. And so at times, in times of difficulty or challenge, we can actually draw upon the strengths that we have, and those things can also help us get into this state of flow. And well, I think they would be some pretty useful components to start thinking of. What are the ways in which you have some strengths and how do you make use of those? And put them to use, because that's the second component to the model of well-being, is using our strengths to be engaged, that sense of we being fully absorbed in what it is that we're doing. Make use of that and you'll be on the road to a greater sense of well-being. Look forward to touching base with you tomorrow night when we speak about the third component of the well-being model. Good night.